Yeah, he trained BJ Penn for some of the greatest fights that BJ ever had because BJ had like an endless gas tank. So he trained him in strength and conditioning, and he had this idea that strength and conditioning was the most important thing, and that you're fighting, you already know how to fight. Like you're BJ Penn, you know how to do it. You don't need to work on like sparring and hitting the bag and timing and all that stuff. Like you already know that shit. What's really important is you have an endless gas tank. A fucking insane gas tank. And so they put him on these wild plyometric exercises. They broke that dude for like 6 weeks. But when he fought, like when he fought Sean Shirk and when he fought Diego Sanchez, that version of BJ Penn, that version, I put that version up against anybody alive or dead.
Yeah, he was a monster.
He was a monster.
Yeah.
When people talk about like the greatest of all time, you got to include BJ in his prime. BJ in his prime. It's because people always want to look at a fighter. You look at like the overall body of their work and you make an average of their performances. You can't do that with BJ because in the later stages of his career, like that's not the same BJ.
Yeah, and we don't take care of these guys. But
it's also he didn't have the same, like you can only be burned that hot for a short amount of time. Like when you're that good. And with, I mean, BJ was so ferocious, like in that period. Like I think that's very hard to maintain, that intensity that he had. But in that time, man, whoo, he was fucking good.
Did he go against GSP?
Yes, he did.
He beat him, right?
No, GSP beat him up, man. GSP beat him up.
Oh,
he beat Matt Hughes though.
But that wasn't in his prime. When GSP beat him?
Well, no, it wasn't his prime. It was a different weight class.
Oh, okay.
Like
right.
BJ was going up to 170 to fight Matt Hughes, who was the welterweight champion. But BJ was a natural guy. He didn't take steroids. He didn't fuck around with anything like that. So he just was BJ Penn. He was like the same size as he was when he's fighting people at 155 pounds. And George St. Pierre is a powerhouse. He's a very physically imposing fighter, and his top game was fucking ruthless, man. He would get guys down and beat the shit out of them, man. Yeah. George St. Pierre was a bad man. In his prime, he was a bad man. And he was much bigger, and he was very angry at BJ. BJ was talking all this shit, and BJ was saying that they're going to fight to the death. Like he said that, like to the death, and I'm serious. We're gonna fight to the death. Jesus Christ. And everybody's like, oh my God.
Remember when Matt Hughes beat GSP? Didn't that happen?
Yes. He caught him with a far side armbar. It was a thing of beauty.
Like one of the greatest upsets ever?
No, it wasn't upset. That was at the time when Matt was the champ.
But that was because now my memory is fucked up. I'm so high.
George St. Pierre.
But GSP was coming back.
No. GSP won the after that, but GSP lost their first encounter.
All right.
Their first encounter, Matt Hughes took him down, and he caught him in a far side armbar. And I think like GSP was going for a Kimura, and the counter to the Kimura was the far side armbar. So he went to hit the Kimura, and as he went to hit the Kimura, he didn't have control of Matt Hughes' body. So Matt Hughes spun around him, and it was beautiful. Yeah. It's like a thing of beauty, like a black belt level submission.
Well, GSP,
see if you can find that.
Didn't he beat everyone that beat him?
Yes.
Everyone he lost to, he came back and beat.
Yeah. Everyone. Yeah. Dude, GSP was the fucking man.
Isn't he?
And the nicest guy on earth. Like, you would never believe he's a stone cold killer. He's so friendly, so nice. Fucking sweetest guy you're ever going to want to run into.
Is he on your GOAT list?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. If there's GOAT list, he's on there. So here's Matt Hughes on top. And he's punching him, and see what George tries to do. He tries to stop it by going for a Kimura. So the counter to the Kimura is the far side armbar, and that's the counter. And he hits it perfectly. That's brilliant. That is like high-level black belt version of a submission. Watch this spin. Spin, takes it, boom. I mean, it's fucking art. That's art. That's the art in martial arts. And someone hits a thing like that, like, God. And you can look at that forever. Like, for as long as there's YouTube, as long as there's all these video platforms, you'll be able to see that far side armbar.
I watched the video.